How is this in any way all right? We had an armed robber was shot dead here in Chico, California, just a couple of days ago. He had robbed some convenience store. He and an accomplice. One guy looked like he just got arrested and walked away from the shootout scene at the house. But the other guy, he was shot dead a couple times in the head. And this is about money. Do you understand? Money. A few crummy dollars. He probably didn't get enough out of the register because they put all that money in safes right away anyhow. He probably got, maybe $100. What's that going to buy the guy? Food for a week? I mean, for crying out loud, my God, look what we've become. Oh my God, help us. I tell you what, folks, we've got to see ourselves as a family, okay? Egalitarianism is a good thing. It's never a bad thing. Equality is a very American ideal, a very American precept, and it's a very good thing. And you cannot be a little bit elitist to not fully embrace egalitarian principles, equality, believing in equality as human beings. Then you are embracing elitist values to some degree. You are saying somehow it's okay that we have any kind of inequality in the world, that it is justified somehow this person is more valuable and worth more than that person. That's evil. That's evil. That's ungodly, and you will never find happiness. That's why I cannot relent on this issue. We have to understand we are a family, and a family loves and cares about each other and wants the best for not some of its members. A family wants the best for all of its members. End of story. Period. That's it. And you can't say that it's okay to subjugate anybody for any reason. You take your common laborers, the minimum class, the lowest end of the scale, and you say, well, they're doing these jobs that we all have to admit are absolutely critical to society surviving. The wheels of society continue to turn. Critical jobs, growing our food, picking our food, transporting our food, selling our food, all over, all these people working in factories with our food. They're all involved. That's just one example of, the minimum wage out there, people that are getting it. And you know what? You want to talk about if this is an intern, this is just, people starting their careers and it's temporary. Well, look, then you've got to have mandates, laws that say, okay, it's only temporary, and this, you have to be able to move up. But that's not the way it goes. Okay, there's more and more poverty level jobs out there. People are losing the good paying jobs. We're losing the middle class, and this is how they're doing it right from under our noses. So how can you say that these people aren't equal to somebody else? I mean, is the world going to stop turning? Everybody that's out there that's got any job, career, whatever, the world's still been descending. So I guess we're not going to miss you if you fall off the face of the earth. Everybody, I mean, we could say, oh, this guy's so important. He's saving lives and he's a doctor and all. Great, wonderful. But you see, overall, we're still descending. We're still declining. We're deteriorating. We've become decadent slobs, like automatons, and we're just listening to our cruel masters all too much and saying that we can't effect change, but we can. But we first got to understand how we're being duped and how roundly, how profoundly we have been mind effed to the nth degree. Okay, up one side and down the other. None of us can think straight. We don't know, because we have to understand what it'd be like to be born free. What does that mean? Free from what? Free from who? It's freedom from the money masters. It's being free, not beholden to these guys and their cost of living. It's being free from this monetary-based unreality. And so we have to figure out, how can we get there from here? What did JFK try to do? He tried to give us sound currency. This is such a big deal that people understand. How controversial. What an anathema sound currency is to the establishmentarians, okay? Because it is an extremely American, egalitarian precept. What would happen with sound currency is that it would increase in worth day by day by day. Can you imagine if we got on that track? Once we got a taste of that, ever-increasing sense of freedom and security and prosperity across the board. Nobody dying out in the cold. You understand? Armed robbers not being shot dead right and left. Okay, I know if it's going on in a small town like Chico, this stuff's going on all over the country exponentially more. And you know what? I mean, we've got to understand that this is not a joke. This is not, we've got to get away from this idea that there's this minutia. We tweak this establishment here or there. No, it's shot. It has to be torn down. And the only way to do that in a gradual manner without a bloody revolution, because these people are going to push and push and push on. They're going to keep oppressing and debasing our currency, stealing our wealth this way, through stealing the worth of our currency, through cost of living inflation, until they've got a bloody revolution on their hands. So the only way to change things and extricate ourselves from this mess, okay, without literal intervention from on high, okay, literally, like the return of Jesus and these holy angels, okay, short of that, the only hope out there, folks, is to gain control over the printing and issuance of our currency. It has to be in the hands of everyday people, we the people. All this debt, how do you think they get away with that? You think they could get away with putting a nation in debt if our currency was sound? That's one of the most fundamental precepts of sound currency. It's stable. It's stable. Anytime there's been any stability in our economy at all, like during the Carter administration, they'll label it stagflation. So it's bad. It's stagnant inflation, right? No, because it's a period like the tide changing. You know what I mean? When it's like it's been going this way for a while, and now it's starting to go the other way. You can't have any sense of stability. You see, okay, who's behind pumping up economies? That's your business interests, your employers, your chamber of communists out there. These fascists, that's who's doing it. Okay? We've got to understand, no, those are special interest groups. This has to be the interest of we the people, regular, everyday people that understand there's not enough work out there. It's not about just working harder. Stop stealing all the work that exists. That's what I would tell people like that. All these people, look, you complain about your taxes. Don't pay the damn thing. You're feeding the beast. I mean, I could blame you. I could say you're rotten to even pay your taxes. So stop complaining about it and say, no, I refuse to be prosecuted, whatever for what I do. I believe it's my constitutional right to not pay. Don't pay it. If you feel like it's a moral issue, don't pay it. Okay, that's all I can say. And you know what? Everybody's got to pick their own battle in this thing, because I believe in 100% voluntary taxes. So I'm not telling anybody, that it has to come out of you. If you don't like to give pay adjustments, just blame the right cause, okay? Blame those that are causing. It's not the workmen that are causing it. They need it because their landlord raised their rent. Do you know what rents are nowadays? People are paying, if you got an apartment in San Francisco, a studio apartment, for $1,000, you would be very lucky. Do you understand? What do you clear on a minimum wage job? About $1,000. What are people supposed to do? Okay, and then you want to complain about the social welfare? They've got to go get that to survive, and you don't think they need more pay? I mean, give me a break. I'm not trying to be a wise guy here, okay? I'm just frustrated, and I want change. I want things to get better, but people have got to understand. They've got to understand basic issues like wage adjustments and the justification for giving them. And if you don't give them, don't complain about the wealth disparity growing, the loss of the middle class, or poverty exploding. Okay, but if you care about those issues, don't label somebody a socialist or a communist because they believe in egalitarian principles. Okay, and that's who I am, and that's the kind of person I want other people to be. I want you to want the best for everybody so I can enjoy the sense of safety and security and freedom and liberty and prosperity that I want to enjoy. We've got to want the same things for each other, good things. I'm not going to take from anybody. Okay, we should make the taxes 100% voluntary. Toll bridges, parking meters, whatever it is. And you ought to be able to earmark where your money goes. That's it. You understand? there's a multitude of simple solutions to humanity's problems. We've got to understand the people running our lives that are creating the policy, conjuring up the policies we have to live under, are skewing everything toward madness. That's it. I mean, they're just turning us into decadent, dumbed down droids. Okay, that's what we are. And this is misery. Misery loves company. These people are a deep, deep, deep well of misery. They are a void of misery, a chasm of misery. It never ends with these people. They're insatiable. I'm not. I'm satiable. I can be satisfied very easily with simple things, just enjoying my stinking little human life. And I would have you enjoy your stinking little human life the way God wants us to. He doesn't want, nothing bad is God's fault, okay? We can't blame God for anything negative. Not death, disease, destruction, nothing. It was never his intention. When we were created, he created us as eternal beings, okay? It was by our own choice, our ancestors, that chose to go outside of what was best and say, well, you know what, I'm going to believe this lie, I was deceived, and God knows you were deceived. And so this thing got in our DNA. It was some kind of inbreeding is what makes most sense to me, scientifically speaking. Whatever it was, it really pissed God off. He wished he didn't even create us, but he put a plan into action that takes thousands of years. But we are all tainted and adulterated from that. So it's really hard. God is very merciful and graceful and long-suffering with us because he knows he needs to be, because we're thick as a brick. Okay, we have a hard time. So I'm not condemning anybody for not thinking straight. Half the time I don't think straight. It's a miracle. No small wonder of the grace of God in my own life. I'm a testament to that I can say and speak anything of value to anybody. I mean, it's a miracle I'm not just a bumbling, babbling idiot sitting in a corner twiddling my thumbs. I mean, really. Or any of us. It just really is. It's remarkable that people are able to function as well as they are under such oppression. I mean, people are asking themselves, even if not on a conscious level, but they're asking themselves, where is the progress? Where's the beef? Okay, what is happening here? Why are not we advancing and becoming more peaceful? Okay, the 20th century was the most bloody century in history, and the 21st century is setting up to be exponentially bloodier. And we've got to understand what is going on, how far we've fallen, how disgraceful and disgusting we've become as a species, as a race. Forget all this stuff about, race talk. Okay, we are one race, the human race. Okay, and we've got to live like a family. And if we don't do that, we are never going to find happiness. We're never going to find good things, peace and joy and contentment, safety and security, and and being able to enjoy our prosperity, to enjoy our freedom and our liberty. We can't do it while any one of the members of our family is still suffering needlessly. That's the key to understand, needlessly, unnecessarily. I'm not complaining about the disease. Sure, someday the disease will be gone. I'm not complaining about accidents. Sure, someday we'll have bodies that are indestructible. I'm not complaining about the natural disasters. Yes, someday the natural disasters will be under control when God has reclaimed the earth for his interest, and we have that renewal of all things, and it's never too hot, never too cold. It'll be perfect. The sun will never be too bright. All these things are written. We'll have those things. But in the meantime, we're living in these stinking, rotting, mortal bodies of death. All of us. We're all stuck here as a family. We should all have a deep affinity and understanding for what we're going through. And, you hear about people killing themselves right and left. I mean, what is it, 25 to 55-year-old age range that's like record high in this country. All that's going on. All these terrorists, these people are suicidal. I mean, they've lost it. That's it. They know they're going to get gunned down too. They go out and murder innocent people that did nothing to them. And they think they know they're going to be detested and go down in infamy, and they're probably going to hell. But that's where people are. They're just abandoning all reason and just saying, you know what, who cares anymore? I have no will to live. And you know what? It all has to do with the money. Okay? So what do we do about it? We've got to nullify it through sound currency. It's the only hope, is gaining control of the money printing, the issuance of currency. It's the only hope for humanity. You've got to have universal full prosperity. which isn't measured in dollars and cents. It's rendering dollars and cents irrelevant over time. That's what happens. Your currency becomes worth so much that, $1 becomes $1,000,000. You understand? So it doesn't matter. It's not about amassing this concept we call money in whatever form it takes, fungible assets, anything else that we can